Yo, just a quick PSA to all of the Asian business owners out there across this country. If y'all are losing money due to the fact that the black community are boycotting y'all, and with the Chinese restaurants having all of these orders and no one show up and pick up, whatever, just letting y'all know that this motherfucker right here is the one to blame it on. He's the one that dared the black community to boycott Asian businesses. And now, instead of standing on business, the motherfucker himself decided to delete all of his social media and go into hiding. This is why a lot of Asian motherfuckers out there just bark out loud. When it comes to standing on business, they shut the fuck up.
And so today is a day of reckoning. A day of reckoning within the Asian American community. To recognize our complicity in upholding the institutions of white supremacy.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Today, we have to interrogate our own anti-blackness that exists in our community. That we have to recognize our own privilege and anti-blackness that has existed for decades. That we have to understand that any progress that we have towards defeating Asian hate is inextricably tied to the progress of our black and brown brothers and sisters.
I've been saying this shit for years, but as Asian Americans, anti-blackness is fucking holding us back. I remember 6 years ago, a then Yale student, Eileen Huang, published an op-ed in which she explicitly called out our community's refusal to speak out against these systemic injustices that black Americans have been facing in this country for centuries. And this op-ed went viral in the WeChat parent groups. Not for a damn good reason though, because the responses overwhelmingly were along the lines of, oh, your parents sacrificed so much, how could you say this against your own people? Basically framing the author as a traitor against their own community for speaking out against a very valid problem. Now keep in mind, these people are professionals, PhDs, people who have been experts in their fields for decades, yet at the same time not being able to hold two truths at once and immediately getting defensive. You can speak out against the anti-Asian racism and violence that people have faced in our community for centuries, while also recognizing that the Asian American identity is built upon being settlers in this country, a country that's fundamentally built upon the theft of indigenous land and the exploitation of black and brown bodies and labors since its foundation. You can be part of a community, love it, and be proud of your heritage, while also being able to criticize its flaws and wanting it to change for the better. Because being a full member of a community is not blindly defending it. That's tribalism. Being part of a community is being able to recognize and speak out against its flaws so that it can become a better community built upon love. We spend so much fucking time debating Asian meetups or the definition of ABGs, but when it comes to the shit that actually matters in today's world, mass surveillance, police brutality, genocide, deportation that ultimately affects us as well, we are fucking nowhere to be seen. We have not shown up. Consistently, we have not shown up. And honestly, even we've made shit worse at times by continuing to peddle these stereotypes and continuing to buy into the model minority myth. We have so many people in this digital world with influence and with a platform, and yet we have no collective sense on how to effectively combat anti-blackness in our community. That's fucking absurd. Because the more we talk about, oh, it's us versus them, it's red versus blue, that's where the people in power want us to be, and they have us exactly where they fucking want us to be. Because the more we talk about this shit, the further we get from recognizing that it's actually top versus bottom, from actually building class consciousness, let alone class solidarity, which is what we desperately need right now. So anyways, holy shit, but we have to do better. We have not shown up.
Honestly, go ahead and boycott the Asian businesses. We as Asian businesses could stand to learn the value of the black dollar. And yes, South Asians, I said we spent all of last month talking about how we're Asian too. I understand that Rick Chow and his thug-ass son are East Asian, but y'all know damn well that could have been one of y'all's parents. This is exactly what some of us mean when we say y'all need to be raising y'all's parents. That immigrant mindset of come to America, keep your head down, don't bother anyone, they won't bother you. First of all, that's outdated. That's not going to work. You have to educate yourself on what's going on. Second of all, our parents need to understand what happened in this country, the groundwork that was laid, the work that Black Americans did to give us the rights that we have now. Third of all, you don't get to come here and say you just want to keep your head down and make an honest living and have the American dream and don't cause any waves, but at the same time uphold anti-Blackness and the disenfranchisement of Black Americans. You can't have it both ways. And before any of you want to get in my comments with some slick ass shit to say, talking about fine, okay, if you don't want to shop at our establishments, go get your own dry cleaners, go get your own restaurants, go get your own convenience stores. You are proving the point that's being made, first of all. I'm gonna tell you two things that the Black community have been trying to tell you. You just won't listen. One, Black people don't forget. Black people do not forget. So if you already said some slick ass racist ass shit, you're fucked. I'm sorry. You've already lost them. And that serves you right. Number two, Black people will treat you how you treat them. It is really that simple. And it makes perfect sense. In a country that has sought out to systemically oppress them from jump, I get that they're gonna be weary interacting with different people. They're gonna wanna understand what you think of them and how you want to treat them. Because why would they intentionally subject themselves to that kind of bullshit? But let me also tell you something. When they say social media is the loudest minority, that shit's so real. You can have every single Black person on TikTok come on here and say, I am no longer supporting insert Asian business. And you know what? They could genuinely mean that and they will never set foot in your door. But most people are not on TikTok. You are still going to have Black patrons coming to your establishments, giving you a chance, being open. This is your chance to prove you are exactly who you claim to be. Treat them with some respect, make them feel welcome and invited, and don't fucking antagonize them. Don't watch them, don't hover, don't talk down to them when they're coming in ready to spend their own money at your establishment. Don't follow them around the store. And for fuck's sake, don't chase little children out of your store just to shoot them in the back in self-defense.
Hey, people say, you know what? We tired of being disrespected. Y'all have all these businesses in our communities, and y'all feel like y'all can come and disrespect us. Y'all can shoot our babies. And this reminds us of a Latasha Harlins. And this is a, you know what? Fuck that. We boycotting these businesses. And the hubris. Yeah, man. Y'all done assimilated a little too much into white supremacy to the point where y'all started sounding like them. Y'all have a lot of hubris. Especially this Asian guy specifically.
I love when the Black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system.
Okay. Listen, first of all, my nigga. Listen, this nigga think he think he control mainland China.
Yeah. Nigga think he the Ming Dynasty.
They talk from a position of people that we're indebted to. We don't owe y'all niggas anything. If anything, you should be thanking us for your ability to be here in the first place. But you come over here, you kiss white people ass after their long history of oppressing you. You can seem to get over that. For whatever reason, you got smoke with us, and we the reason why you here in the first place. I haven't seen, like I said before, I haven't seen any of them come out and condemn the actions of Rick or Andy Chow. Nor have I seen any empathy for this 14-year-old baby, Cyrus Cormack, and the loss of his life.
Right.
But you threatening us like you gonna pull the whole continent of Asia out the Black community, nigga. Niggas not being outworked by immigrants. You wouldn't be allowed to immigrate over here if it wasn't for us. We not being outworked by immigrants. We being out ass kissed, out brown nosed. Y'all got y'all head so far, white people ass, y'all can't even see yourselves being a puppet. You can't see how you being used. We said, go to the bank. You don't know nothing about no red line, nigga. You don't got no history in this country. And this is a nigga in a fitted hat.
Yeah.
And then you want to go start talking about the products that's made in China. Nigga, America is made in China. They've been kissing white people ass so long that they starting to think and talk like the white man.
Yeah, man.
They starting to make threats like they the white man. This nigga threatened to pull China out of the Black community, the entire continent.
He's just pulling China out?
Asia.
Whenever racism is brought up in the Asian American community, there seems to be this knee-jerk reaction to say, well, we're not racist, but we have a lot of racism perpetrated against us. And there's this immediate defensiveness to say, well, I've experienced so much racism in my life and you just don't understand it and you're trying to silence me right now. As if acknowledging that there is anti-Blackness in the Asian community is somehow invalidating any discrimination or racism that individual Asian people have experienced in their life. I think there's two parts of this that are interesting to me. One is something I've talked about before, which is that a lot of people in the Asian community don't have the same awareness that, yes, we are people of color and that we do face racism and prejudice, but in very different ways than members of the Black community do. The second part of this is I wonder if some of this defensiveness is coming from the ways in which a lot of us were socialized and raised to not rock the boat, to be quiet, and to just kind of take whatever it is that's thrown at us. And now that we are adults and we have platforms and we can talk to cameras, a lot of us are really embracing that and really making up for lost time in terms of being able to talk about our experiences and the ways in which we faced discrimination in the past. Unfortunately, a lot of people are using their voice not to stand in solidarity with other communities of color, but to say, I will not be silenced anymore and I need to be listened to. You will not invalidate my experiences of prejudice or discrimination any longer. It is not incumbent upon the Black community to have grace for and teach that part of our community. If it's incumbent upon anybody, I think it's other members of the Asian community to say, hey, we all know what living as an Asian person in this country feels like. And it's not always easy and it's not always good. But the ways in which racism is perpetrated against members of the Black community is also very different than what we feel, and we just don't know what that's like. And that acknowledgement in no way undermines or threatens your understandings of the racism that you have faced. We can talk about how Rick Chow's acquittal was a manifestation of the racism in the criminal legal system, and that the Black community's outrage over it and what they're calling for is a normal and understandable reaction, while also acknowledging that yes, Asian people do face discrimination and racism too, and that our common goal should be to dismantle the white supremacy that is at the...
I want them to keep coming out. I want them to keep making videos so Black people can wake the hell up. But this is what it's going to take for Black people to really get upset and to really decide to support their own before they go support somebody who hates them. And the thing is, Black people, we are so forgiving. We are so desensitized to disrespect, to violence, to prejudice, that we continue to support these businesses even though they do bad business. We've allowed these businesses to operate in our communities for too long, all while they disrespect us, all while they do bad business, piss poor customer service. Now it's time for y'all to wake the hell up. Get y'all affairs in order. Get your businesses together. Get your stuff together so that if there is Black people who want to do business with other Black people, they have that option. Get y'all businesses in order so that we can stop shopping with businesses who don't value us, who don't want us, who don't trust us, who don't respect us. Black people have a $2 trillion spending power, and it's time that we put that money towards our own communities. And many Asian people are copping pleas talking about, why should we get punished for Rick Chow, what Rick Chow did? The fact of the matter is, this isn't just about Rick Chow. It's the fact that many ran Asian businesses are prejudiced and do discriminate against Black people and disrespect Black people. It's not just Rick Chow. This behavior is felt collectively in the Black community, whether you're in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, New York, California. You have experienced some type of prejudice, some type of discrimination, some type of disrespect in the Asian ran business. And that's why so many are calling for a boycott of these Asian ran businesses.
I couldn't wait to get home and do this video. This crackerjack right here, he was talking to y'all. He wasn't talking to me. You know why he wasn't talking to me? Because I shop black owned. But let me show you. My hair products, right? Black owned. You know who this is. Black owned. Rice water, rosemary water, black owned. Botanica oil, black owned. For my locks, black owned. If I wanted a dude, black owned. Okay? For my kids, black owned. Edge control, black owned. Let me come over here. Edge control, black owned. Now, if I wanted something for my body, black owned. Y'all know who she be. Black owned. Okay? We get this? Now, if I want to wash my face, black owned. Okay? If I wanted to smell good, black owned. Let me open it so y'all see. Black owned. If I wanted my house to smell good, black owned. And all of that right, black owned. Black owned. If I wanted to wipe my butt, let me turn this around, baby. And I just got a package for 2 more. Black owned. If I wanted to wash my clothes, black owned. Black owned. Vitamins, more vitamins. Black owned. Okay? Black owned. Now for my hormones and stuff. Black owned. But if I wanted to sage out my house, I can't find my other ones, but baby, black owned. Black owned. Everything in my house is black owned. I support my black peoples. He was talking to y'all. He was not talking to me. And this is what I mean. You give them an inch, they take a mile. This black owned in here. Black owned. Black owned. It's matter of fact, I got black owned books. Books. Black owned. Everything is black owned with me. I support my people. Matter of fact, forgot, girl. If I wanted my house, mop my floors, baby. Mop my floors. Black owned. What else did I forget? It's so much stuff in my house that's black owned. Black owned. He was talking to y'all. He was not talking to me. He could never talk to me. I don't go there. I don't go to none of them. Yeah, I don't get my nails done. And I do my kids' hair, my husband hair. Black owned.
Do you want to know why there's so much tension between Asians and black people? I want to give everyone a little bit of background and also my personal experience for everyone to understand this. To answer this question, first of all, there's no hate. But we love to talk about hate, and that's what internet and social media is so good at. It's so good at spreading hatred. For the folks maybe homing on some of the US news about some court cases where I think it was a Chinese American murdered a young black kid for stealing water or something like that. I know there's a trend of boycotting, right? Asian American restaurants, business, all that kind of stuff. I think it's so sad we judge an entire group of people based on a decision and the outcome that nobody likes and none of us has any control over. But you know what's really good at is spreading the hatred. Growing up in, I would say, blue-collar city in Canada, US, I've learned that all of us have the same skin tone. And especially black people and Asian people, because it turns out we live in the same neighborhood. And maybe it's just my generation that grew up with rush hour, so the black and yellow is strong. It's maybe propaganda, maybe it's just the truth of how our cultural clash or are the same. A lot of times I think the hatred is so easily spread, we just assume that's what people think. But I know that it's not true. I remember in my 20s, a lot of black young girls want to date me, and they're very like, the first question they're like, do you like black people? I was like, what kind of weird question is that? But I get it, because I think especially black women are being mistreated in the media, in the whole world. Just, we put them down for so many reasons that we don't want to admit. And I remember hearing that, I'm like, what? Okay, well, I date you because you're hot. That's because I'm shallow. That's another story. I'll tell you more about that. But skin tone doesn't matter. Anyways, all I want to say is, hate is easy to spread. Love is what all of us need.
I said in my previous video already, but I don't think it's in news, that a lot of Asians are anti-black. It is not just Asian American diaspora, it is also Asian in Asia. I am an Asian, grew up in Asia, and I have so many stories of people over there being outwardly racist and anti-black and colorist, if you care. Although I do realize that the rich outsiders situation is what a court intentionally doing to separate the minority group and pin us against each other, because the midterm is coming, and seeing us hating each other, pinning us against each other is exactly what white fascists and white supremacy want us to be doing. However, but I think it's really reasonable for these for other people to be boycotting Asian business if they are really anti-black, because let's be so for real, a lot of them are really anti-black. So when these people saying that they are boycotting Asian business or Asian store, I am not even slightly offended.
I come on here to tell y'all that I am not boycotting Asian restaurants. I'm not boycotting Asian like nail techs. You know why? Because I never shopped with them motherfuckers anyway. They were racist to me when I worked for Chase Bank. Asian people hated blacks. I've been discriminated against here in Norman. The little Asian lady lived next door to me. She was selling parking spots, parking people behind my house because we had a duplex, and she was getting paid for it because we lived by the OU Stadium, so people will pay to park in your yard if they can walk to the stadium from your yard. But she was getting paid for spots behind my apartment. So I went over and asked, I said, how are you parking people in my yard and getting paid and not giving me part of the money? Well, the next week, she blocked it off where they couldn't park behind my house. Anyway, she didn't want me to make no money, so there's that. I've been cursed out over the phone, talked crazy too by them, because they knew I was black over the phone. So yeah, I'm not boycotting because I never liked Chinese food anyway. I never got my nails done anyway. My nails are natural. I don't deal with them. I don't buy fake hair because I got hair. So I ain't gonna boycott them, but I'm glad y'all are, because that man should have been found guilty for killing that baby over that damn bottle of water. And I don't care what you say, but they've been getting away with being racist toward us for a long time. And I feel like this, even during the pandemic, they were throwing people out over there in China. They were being racist during the pandemic too. So I hope they all go out of business. And even though I'm not boycotting, I'm on here to tell y'all go ahead and take that black dollar back. Let them see. I never did shop at Target either, so I never did have to boycott them. If you ain't never shopped with them or they ain't never got none of my money. So I'm happy for black people standing up for their rights. I love y'all.
So guys, if you have been watching my video, if you've been following my channel for some time, you definitely know that we have had a time where we've been talking about Asians and their businesses, and black people are boycotting the Asian businesses. Now, that is not something that happened over, without cause, or there was a lot that had happened before that made black people to get to a point where they're thinking we do not have to keep supporting people that do not respect us. Yeah, the disrespect that Asian people, especially those in business, were starting to show the black community has become way too much. Now, we're not talking about merely disrespect of, someone not liking you or someone saying something crappy about you. No, we're talking about a level where they have afforded to kill black people, black children for that case, and accused them of wanting to steal or stealing from their shops. Turns out they were not stealing, and now these people still have not been held, like in prison. They have been left free because, according to the justice system, they had not done anything wrong. Now, that just goes in to show you how black people are being treated in America, and the justice system and how it punishes black people regardless of the fact that they have done nothing. Yeah. Now, this was an event where the justice system was expected to show that they actually care about black people just as much as they care about every other people, especially white people. But whatever they did with that judgment made black people very annoyed. Now, it would not have gotten to this point of boycotting Asian businesses if the Asians themselves came out and called out their own. Yeah. What made black people even more annoyed is the fact that these people were quiet the whole time when the black community was going through hell, thinking about the kind of loss they have incurred, and after everything, there is no justice for them. The Asians who were quiet, they were comfortable with that. They did not think that it was a problem because it was not affecting them directly. Now, that kind of selfishness has made black people to rethink their options and come together as one and make a decision to boycott the Asian businesses, because there's really no point in promoting people that are killing you. Yeah. Promoting people that do not care that one of their own has done something that is outrageously wrong, and they're not calling them out. They're not being part of the justice. Yeah, because Asians are, especially those that are Asian Americans, they're supposed to know that one of them can actually say something about, whatever it could be, what they feel or whatever. But this person is representing you as a whole, representing you as a group. Now, when this Asian man comes out and says, and I know you have seen him in the video and the previous videos that we've done, when he comes out and says he's daring black people to stop threatening to boycott the Asian businesses and actually just do it, just actualize whatever you're saying, because we are tired of the warnings, we are tired of you always using that as a card on us. We are tired of that, so you can go ahead and boycott everything. That person could be saying that because that is exactly what they think as a person, and black people do know that. But the fact that you people are not calling out on such people is the reason why black people went ahead and boycotted your businesses. And now Asians are out here complaining because they have lost the black dollar, And one good thing about black people is that they are spenders. Black people are willing and ready and happy to spend their money. And when you're talking about money, you're not talking about a small amount of money. Black people are good at making themselves happier. It doesn't matter what the cost is, as much as long as they are happy with the product, they're going to buy it. Now, for you to play with such kind of clients, then it means you are not serious about what you're doing. The businesses are based in the black communities, most of them, for the most part. And the people that you are relying on to buy your products are these black people, the same black people that you are daring to boycott your businesses. Now, it is not about black people being desperate or not having options. It's not like black people are not in businesses, yeah, but it should show you that black people do not have that that race mentality with them. They can and are able to support anyone, doesn't matter whatever race they come from. Now, if they have left their own black people, for example, let's talk about the women, the black women and their nail technicians, the people that do their hair, mostly Asians. It doesn't mean that there are no black people that are doing the same businesses. And if you want to know that that is actually true, look at the situation right now. They're not going to Asian shops, they're not going to Asian nail technicians or salons, yeah. They are having people that are doing their hair. It's not like they're going out looking crazy. Their hair is being made, their nails are being made, they're buying products, they're still living their lives as normal. That should tell you that they do not really exactly need you. They're doing you a favor by considering to buy in your shops. They are actually supporting you. They are leaving their own people to support you. And this is how you pay them back. This is how you speak about them. This is how you treat them. Total disrespect, total disregard for who they are, joining in white people to be racist against black people, making them feel horrible about themselves, killing little children. Sometimes you make people unable to defend you in whatever way because you have killed children and the whole community is quiet. Nobody came out to call out their own people, talk about, that was not supposed to happen, and apologize to black people. And I keep saying here, a word of mouth apology is not what black people need. They need changed behavior, change in action. If you disrespect them, respect them now. Yeah? Change behavior. Merely saying sorry does not count because you can say sorry today and do that same thing tomorrow. It will not mean anything. But for someone that is showing their change in behavior, that is someone that is actually apologizing. Now, for Asian Americans not calling out their own people when they were doing crazy stuff like killing children in the black neighborhoods, in the black community, that has made black people conclude that that is exactly how you feel about black people. You're okay seeing black people suffering. You're okay being part of the reason why black people are suffering, and you do not care about how that impacts them. And for one of you to come out and say, I'm daring you to do that. You keep talking about boycotting the businesses. Why don't you go ahead and do it? Now, black people have done it. You have felt the pinch. That's why there's all these crazy videos of Asian Americans, trying to fight against themselves. That is exactly what they were supposed to do when that injustice was done to that child. That is exactly what black people needed to see. Fight each other, talk to each other and tell them that it's not right what you're doing to black people. It is not okay how you think about black people. It is not okay that you have done this to a child and you're going scot-free. It's not fine. That is exactly what Black people needed to see that time. That would show them that you actually care about who they are, you actually care about the support they give you, and you are trying as much as you can to be living peacefully in the community. That's not what you did. You are okay with the justice, everyone sat back and, had some small talk about it, and that's all. How do you think that made Black people feel? How do you think it made them feel about themselves and the fact that they support your businesses? There are many Black people that have come out to condemn that act and even talk to their fellow Black people and ask them to support their own. Why are you spending a lot of money on the other races that do not even respect you and leaving your own people that are actually doing the same business? And you see that now makes sense in as much as it's not what Black people really like to stand for. They just support people because they want to, not because it's our person. But since you're doing things that are making them more and more annoyed each single day, then you're putting them in a place where they are unable to fight anymore. They are unable to defend you. Yeah. And now that is exactly what is happening. And it's uncomfortable, and you have felt the pinch, and you do not have the black dollar now, and it's affecting you, it's hurting you. That is really the same reason why you should have stood for justice. Guys, I'll see you on my next video. Bye for now.